Namaste. Namaste. Hello, this is Divine Sunshine with your energy check-in with the divine masculine energies to the divine feminine energies. Remember that the divine masculine energies are the energies that which are actions in which we do outward. Look on my Divine Matters of the Heart channel, which I have given an emotional check-in for the divine feminine energies, which means I'm looking at, and I broke it down differently, the divine masculine energies, divine feminine energies in the male avatar and the divine feminine energies in a female avatar. That means whichever body that you are pretty much exhibiting and showing yourself in, that is the avatar that I did. I did something differently so you all can really kind of get an understanding of this one. So now, when we talk about the divine masculine energies, that means you could be in a male or a female avatar. That means or body. So this is going either way as far as what's going on. So now let's go and just check in and see what is going on with the divine masculine energies. That means what kind of actions is needed to be taken on the outside, and which is being exhibited by the divine twin flames or divine lover. Clear. So let's look and see what is going on, the overall theme according to spirit and source. They're seeing what? So right now, according to source, the following things that they're seeing is helps others to get through their own problems. Father-family conflict, and Morpheus dreaming in sleep. Okay, let me get some clarifiers, because the first thing that came to mind when I seen this was that the divine masculine energies, your energies is outside, is looking to look like it's helping others. It's almost like a mom said, to get your mind off your own problems, you're going around and you're helping other people to help them. But you're not really dealing with what's actually going on the inside. And this is what I'm seeing here. That kind of goes to the emotional check-in almost in some ways. Differentiating. So they're learning how to help others to get through their own problems. Stop. I like how I read that. Second time when I read that, understanding the difference. I seen that in a video that I was watching, and we're talking about how helping others, like really when you have known you have gotten through, which is that karma, that lesson, dealing with that distorted partner, you should have gotten to the point that when you look at that partner now or that person from this point on, you should be looking at them from a point of saying, thank you, I know what that purpose was. Now you have moved me into the energy of this being a dojo, which means you have put me on the path in which I need to go, and which is going to lead me into my divinity. That is what those karma lessons are about. They're to lead you into you actually finding yourself in that. Not for you to continuously be on that hamster wheel or spiraling out or going down the drain kind of energy. So right now they're saying overall, whatever is happening with the divine masculine energies, whether you're a female or a male avatar body, again, you're learning how to differentiate how helping others is really helping you through your problems. And that's what I picked up. So you're differentiating that. Now some of them are still kind of, I don't like to use the term, but I hear them saying still stuck on stupid or still stuck in denial. Denial to me is the word of the day. Denial has been going through, and I feel that in all of my readings. So they always give me a word like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, like Divine Sunshine's universe. In Divine Sunshine's universe, the word of the day is denial. We're in denial, denial, denial. Some of us are in denial, and I'll talk about that. Understanding that right now the next thing is about father, family, and family conflicts. This is right now what the divine masculine is dealing with. It's this family conflict and dynamic. And one statement that Kathy D had told me, and it's been sticking in my mind, is saying a lot of these the divine masculines that are in these third-party relationships or in some kind of commitment and knowing they want to get out of it. She was telling me that a lot of times it's not that the property and all the splitting of that the most big thing of is the splitting of the people, the other assets, the friends, the families that you have made. And that's kind of hard for them to, like Jada Pinkett said, to get out of entanglement with. It's easy to say, okay, deuces to the karmic, but then it's like, some of them say, hey, it was some good things that had been developed and came out of this relationship. And this is what is causing for the divine masculine energies, whether it's a female or male avatar, to have this difficulty of to be able to kind of yank right on out of that. So right now it's competitive. It's a competition there. It's a conflict of who can vie for my attention in this situation right now. Really what is asking, the universe is asking for them to do is to really get into that energy of that Father's knows best. Father's knows best energy with them pretty much it did it. You know how the Father's knows best in the 50s. The answer was no, and that's it. Well, why not? Because I said so. Long pause, crickets in the background. No explanation. They're not like the fathers today where we go back and forth. You throw a tantrum. If I say we ain't getting no McDonald's today, we're not getting no McDonald's today. Not like the parents of the fathers of today. Well, let's talk about it. Why do you feel like you need to have McDonald's today? Okay, mom or dad is listening. Okay, now I understand your reasoning, but right now this is not a good time. You know how the thing in the economy I told you about that, money's a little tight. Yes. Did you understand that, little John? Yes. But I still want the Big Mac. Quarter pounder with cheese. Fries. And if I don't get him, I'm going to throw a tantrum right here straight up in this parking lot. And they fall down and little John is on the floor and throwing a tantrum. And before you know it, you're caving in to little John. And before you up at the countertop, yes, can I have a number 8 Big Mac large fry? And what kind of drink you want? I want sweet tea. And did you want apple pie with that? Yes. Yeah, so that's where you led. That's where you led to this new. I think about one of my students talk about these new parents. Miss Booker, these new parents, they ain't got it. So you talk about this new parenting here. We ain't talk about the 1950s dad. The 1950s dad said no. He crank up that daggone car and he out the parking lot. He don't care. He dragged you, scooped you up, put you in the car. He give you that look. Now what did I say? You said no. Okay. Do we have an understanding? Yes, sir. And you crawl your little behind back in that back seat, and it's over. So this is what we have in there. It's a competition experience, saying like now with some of these problems like that, some of them you might have to kind of go back to that. I understand with the new parentings, and some of it's like the talking to and the whatever, but some things kind of serve this purpose too of understanding the difference. I was thinking about, I seen, what was that on Bill Meyer, and he was talking about teachers and how the kids had gotten off track and why they're not being able to be handled in the classroom by teachers because of the parenting of the parents. And how, the roles have gotten off. And it's almost just like what I was talking about, the talking. I mean, it's fine for you to talk. I don't have a problem under reasoning, but understanding that he was like, when did it come to the point that everybody wins, nobody loses? They don't understand the differentiated. They don't get to understand the difference between, because sometimes everybody can't come out the winner. And like I've always said, and I take... Daniellleboomlle saying again, we don't take L's in here. We take lessons. There's things that you can learn from stuff. And that's why you need to know the difference, that why sometimes you don't always win. That's why sometimes always that in order for you to play the fool in love, that's for you to be able to distinguish the difference between what love no longer serves you, love is no longer good for you. That is just not the love that you should be seeking. And that's why you have to go ahead and to experience those experiences. And if you're shielded from that at all times, you never will be able to learn. You won't be able to honor those good times that come on. And when you do have somebody say, oh my God, you're like a breath of fresh air, I know the difference. So competing with that and understanding this idea what this family thing is. Some of them are actually competing with family members. The father figure maybe that's in there too is not really liking about what's going on with the divine masculine energies too. Morpheus, and when I look at this, I say, you're saying he's going Morpheus, so he's changing. Morpheus again, thinking about morphing, thinking about butterflies, the process, the crystallization that's going on with that. So in the dream sleep, it's a lot of things. I know that even with me in the dream sleep, a lot of subconscious of reckoning, fixing, getting things right. Subconsciously is some things that needs to be kind of reset. I told you before, when it comes to divine masculine energies, for them, they say it's a little better for us to be able to reset them while divine masculine energies are in a sleep, because they're always in that go, go, go. And really for them to be able to bring them in that state while they're in their awakened state, it gets wiped out. They cannot really be able to discern what is. Thank you, Ralphie. And that was like a resound, like amen. They don't hear a dang on thing while they're in wake state. So this is something like that, because again, it's structured. So to me, it's like they say we're rebuilding. They're showing to me like DNA building blocks, spiritual DNA, like really going in there and really actually changing things within the DNA, the spiritual structure of the divine masculine energy in the sleep state. Okay, so that is what's actually going on with that. Let's look and see what's happening with the divine masculine energies, as far as it don't matter, in their emotions. Clear. Ooh, they resentful. Okay, why are we resentful, my dear? What's that all about? Why are we resentful? I need to clarify. Give me this energy card. Why are we resentful? Indignant, offended, bitter. Something about a woman that's done. Something this woman has done. One thing that comes to mind first, they say he resentful because he's got to right now. The divine feminine energy is right now look like she's seeking and concentrating on her own love. And right now it seems like with that, the divine masculine energies here right now, this divine masculine is a little resentful about that. Some of them think that the divine feminine is resentful, and she probably say, boy, I ain't even studying you. So, you know, get with that. With that program, maybe also they're kind of resentful that they're not really there. This comes off of indignant, offended, bitter. Why are you bitter? I still don't get that. Angel of love. Again, creating this balance too. That they've got to. They might be also resentful is that they got to get into that divine feminine energies as well. It's kind of hard for them to digest. Almost like when I'm hearing my dog coughing. It's like I'm really trying to reject that. I rebuke that. It's like, no, you got to kind of go on. And that kind of goes into the emotional check-in. And I said about the divine masculine. It's kind of in denial about that. Not saying that he doesn't want to accept what's happening. He's like, well, right now I feel peaceful. I don't want nothing to disturb my peace. And like, Spirit is like saying, but this is not really the ultimate. You thinking that you at the top of the mountain, but you ain't even made it to the peak yet. Really, as far as that is saying about this, right, it's balancing out the yin and yang, right, this yin and yang, and to really truly be able to have this happy family. Right now, that's interesting, we talk about family. Right now, in order for him to really have the family that he truly wants, he's got to, they keep on telling me, it's like them saying again, I think I see Jupiter 11, she 11 is stated there about this teddy bear analogy that she brought up. You got the big teddy bear and the small teddy bear. You got that teddy bear that's all torn up, this family that the divine master actually has right now. maybe he is stuck in that 1950s type of dad, and their spirit is trying to say, no, we're trying to tell you about this new way of family that Benita's talking about. And he still can, now I want this 1950. Okay, thank you. I want this 1950 way, the way my dad's dad and my dad's dad and that generational has had. And so now it's this generational thing that he's going on and it's getting passed down. But Spirit is saying it's like it's several layers. Yeah, that was the idea that was good for them. Just like my students say, these new parents, that was good for them. That is not what you are here for, to show a way of having this new family, as Benita said. So they're holding on to this old family. Like, no. And Source is like, give it to me. It's like, no, I don't want to do it. I'm going to stick with this 1950, this was the family that I know. And then behind Spirit's back is like, I got this love of a lifetime that his family has never seen, of them having this fabulous dynamic of a family that he's never seen. And he's scared to give it to, because he still wants this 1950s way style of family dynamics. And I'm telling you, we got another family that's got a whole different dynamic. He just let it go that he can have with his divine partner. So this is what they're saying. He's resentful because he knows what he's got to do. This is what I'm picking up. He's resentful because he knows exactly what he's got to do. Okay? So let's take a little peek-see and seeing what's actually going on in this divine masculine energies, what's going on in his world, and let's see what's happening with the connection. Clear. What's going on? Give us a sneak peek at just seeing about this divine masculine energies collectively. I seen it. Hold on a second. Let's do this again. Thank you. Let's do it again. Do it again. Spend some time, just you and me, baby. Oh, my hex of mine. The eye by the finger. How you linger. Let's do it again. Let's do it in the morning. Sweet loving summertime. Now you can face all of the next to mine. Feel love in the midnight. I know where it's going. Feel love in the Feel you, baby. Just really good. Just really good. Just really good. Hey, I want to do it again. So this person, they must want to do it again. They want to come back and have it do it. That's interesting. I'm saying to do it again. So right now, the action that this divine masculine understands that divorce is. I think last time we did the reading here for the divine masculine to the divine feminine energies thing, said that he's really, again, in his emotions. The thought of doing this divorce is bringing him enjoyment. Sexting. Now what I'm picking up again with this one is that this divine masculine, if he's in communications with the divine feminine, or he's not, he really wished that he could be able to just kind of like flirt, kind of bring in heavy to let her know that, hey, I still want you. Like Margaret say, I want you the right way, and I want you to want me too. So that's what he wants. Through this text message, he figured maybe he'll be able to get that answer. But right now he's got a conflict because he's depressed about some things. It's some things that it seems like the divine masculine energies, whether it's a female or a male. So I can stop myself saying the male using the gender bias with that. It's right now it's depressed because, again, things, when you think about this family, you think about the family I got now, you think about the family you wish you had. Some of them kind of wish, and to be honest, they bring it to me, wish that the family that they are with now would be the dynamic family that he would like. He would love for it to be the Brady Bunch or what you call it, Good Times, although it's bad and we struggling, but we bringing it together like Flo and James, just really bringing it together. Evans, right, yeah, for to bring that together. They wish that hard times that we still loving each other, although we living in the projects and we in the low incomes, but we still got it. And it's like, no, really, I can't have that with this person that I'm with, this distorted partner that I'm actually with right now. This is not going to happen. You know, and I could get that with my divine feminine that's in a female or male, because they understand me better. They can go with the flow. They can, you know, they understand how to bob and weave a little bit better. I jab, I do this. And they understand. I was watching Big Love. Black Love. And they was talking about, it was one couple that's on there, and she said that, and I said, that sound like twin flame language. She said, I know that, she said, one day we had the biggest blowout, and she said, and when I looked at it, we looked at each other, we pulled off at the side of the road, because she's like, it looked like we was about to go blow for blow up in the car. And she said, it hit me, and said, you know what, right now I am made for I'm being made right now for the things that you're going through. It's like, it's so many words she's saying. I'm being made for the things that you're going through. That no matter what you throw into me, within me, I have the key ingredients and tools to be able to handle the battles that you're going through. And the battles that you're going through is helping me to sharpen myself. She's like, it's just like the Bible. Iron sharpens iron. She's like, and I am able to do that. And because you're going through it, it's teaching me. And when I go through things, it teaches you. So again, this person that they're right now is distorted. I'm no longer using the karmic thing, because again, I keep on I am telling you that the karmic situations is a lesson, period. Good, bad, or ugly. Now, it's up to you that you are not receiving and not understanding that karma is not all bad. Look it up. Look at the references and the guides of what karma is. And again, they tell you, good and bad, there are lessons, point blank, period. Benita came back and she has even said that and backed that up. So right now, again, I'm not calling them karmics. I've been saying that. You seem like you kind of still, some of us getting it and some of us are not. Okay, of understanding that. But again, us as divines, we have karma experience, karmic experiences. We act as karmics, and we do, and we receive in situations in which we deal with karmics, but those are distorted. That means for us to be karmic, again, that means we were in our distorted self. We were not acting divine. Some of us did not know we were there. That's the reasons why our counterparts came along to wake us up. So with that, understanding that right now, the depression, there's a conflict on that, because a couple of them thinking right now I should be much further along. Where I am, I'm not able to get this. I know I need to get out this situation, but I have no means or ways of finding out how I can get out this situation because of what Kathy did. I'm locked in, I'm intertwined, entangled, as Jada Pinkett says, in the car, into the distorted partner. I'm entangled with the distorted relationships that they bring into the table with their children, everything, family, friends, all lockstep in there. And it's, again, like I told you before, it's like a shoe, a gym shoe that you have, or a sneaker that you have that knot in it. You knot it real good. And it's going to take some time to unentangle yourself out of that. Right now in the mind, it's causing a conflict as well. And I put the trigger thing kind of semi in it because I was going to do something different. What I'm noticing also is, and this is a trigger warning inside of this, because I was going to do separate, but I see this is what it brings here too. When we talk about conflict, a lot of the times I'm seeing here, especially when I'm talking to people that are in different types of relationships, the writing is on the wall. I see it. I'm told people that the writing is on the wall, and this is like more than one. People have come to me for counsel, and I'm like, the writing is on the wall. The point is that I'm seeing across the board, and the thing that's going on is that they don't want to choose it. It's like, I want to keep on perpetuating and stewing in it instead of like make a decision to say cut it, because again, these situations, they come back. They come back worse. They keep on tugging on your heartstrings. You fall for it. You think, okay, they out of their distortion. And they fall right back before you know it. Something hits something. They press a button. Something happens to them. And they're going back to their distorted self. And you're like, but I thought we had a talk. I thought we was out of this. Okay, and we're still circling back into this. Because again, that is their truest form of themselves. It's like my answer, look, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Let's get to that point of understanding that that is it. It's not going to change. And I'm seeing a lot of what's going on with these divine masculines or divine feminines that are in these third party situations, that are dealing with these distorted partners. They look at them and feel in some ways that they can save them. They look at them in some ways because they're hitting on that inner child. They're hitting that same pattern as their parents. And they're saying, oh, they're just like my parents. I think I can fix them. And until they get themselves out of that continuous loop of seeing them as that, they let them come in and they come through that wound. That childhood wound was an entry for them to go in other places. They are continuously going to stay there until they get to a point that they have that, and I'm talking about this in the guy's video that talk about the Hyoka empath or the super empath, until they get to the point that they have practiced defiant self-love for self. Then they'll be able to get out there. But until they keep on accepting whatever, and the writing is all on the wall, just like I say, all this, like if that was writing right there, it's saying get out. You see them horror films, you see some of them in the thing talk about get out now, a voice from somewhere, and I'm like, huh? What? Now some people get in there and say thank you. You ain't got to say it but one time. My ass is out of here. You get some of them talk about, what sound is that? Where's that coming from? Did somebody leave the speakers on up in here? Who said that? And and they looking for them to holler again. Get out now. And they're like, oh, you sound a little angry. And because it's like, you sound just like my dad when he gets upset. And it's like the spirit and the voice in there talk about, okay, next thing you know, Jason at the door with the light, and they run like, well, see, Jason gave you a couple of the distorted partner gave you a couple of warnings several times to get out the relationship. Now, you sitting up there talking about, is the speaker, is my phone on, is that a notification going off? Instead, you run your behind on out there. This is called a conflict in the mind right here. And so right now, it says in your emotion, it leads you to be disgusted because you're resentful, not really resentful at yourself. You're resentful of yourself. Let me stop lying. And let me not be in denial. You're resentful of yourself. You're resentful of your divine feminine that's going out there balancing and being the love that she is, divine masculine, female, male avatar, which is causing you to have to do the work. And when you go back to my emotional check-in thing, you see the divine feminine energies in the male. It's like, I'm fine where I am, but spirit is saying, no, you're not. Let's not fall for the okie doke, because most of the time when it's calm, a storm is about to happen. So he's feeling disgusted right now in himself, because right now it's like, how did I get here? I sold myself this pipe dream. I want to get out. I don't like the way my distorted partner is acting, this whole situation. And so this is where they're at. So now let's get into some solutions very quickly about what's happening. So what does the romance angels have to say? How they, let's see. What is this divine masculine thinking about the connection itself, though? What is he thinking about the connection? Clear. Between the divine feminine and him. What is he thinking about right now? You're funny. Okay, so right now what he's thinking about here is that the divine feminine is in her confidence. Anytime you see peacock feathers, that's his confidence, that's his sure. So he feels right now that he really wants to be nurtured. He wants to have that intimacy, and he really wants to help, although she's confident, but he really wants to say for her to stay open to him as far as this connection. He's like, I'm putting my sword and my shield down, and I want you to know that I want to be part of this relationship. He wants to also put some things to bed. He wants to put some things to rest. In the communication, he wants both of them to be very comfortable in how they communicate to each other. He wants to be in his heart space. He wants to stay connected to her. He wants, again, to remain to keep on to continue to keep her open to him as well, too. And they're both really to be, this is really very sweet, very endearing, and very embraced. I'm looking at you. Anytime you like that, that's just a sweet spot right there. for the two of you all. That's really called pillow talk right there. It's like, yeah, I'm looking at you. I got my eyes on. This is really where he wants the relationship to go. He really wants the divine feminine also as well, for her to be able to really take the hands of the wheel to this relationship too. It's like, let me know that you want me too. I'm working on some things. You see him, he's trying to eliminate some things. He's trying to get into his heart space, and he sees that she's really being open towards him. He's really finding himself that he's saying it's interesting. He's grabbing his foot. He's trying to get some understanding, but he's saying me getting understand. I'm trying to be flexible too, in some ways too. This is some flexibility that he's trying to show. Say, see, I can be flexible as well. And she's like, yeah. So she's like, you know, she kind of giving him this look like, now, do you really want this? Because I don't want no plan no more on this. I mean, because if I stick this in, that means, you, like I said, if I stick this in, we go together. Ain't no I'm thinking about if we going together. It's like, no, we go together. Not when I put my hand on your joystick and I put it in and we get to starting this game here called a relationship, a love, a divine partnership, it's a done deal. That's like when you put your quarters in the slot machine. It's like you put that in the slot machine, it's over. We goes together. So next thing again is having again, he wants to be divine masculine, wants to be in the driver's seat. When it comes to the divine feminine, is that he wants to be grounded and rooted and understanding that this is where he is. He wants to be able to shield and protect for the relationship, because I see swans here. But this is interesting because you see little baby ones here. So he's like, this time if I want to be protected, I want to be protected of the family that I know that's divine, because this is a swan here. Swan represents also with the divinity. And most of the time when you have swans there, they made it, don't matter where the swan goes, they can go off for a long period of time. And when they come back, they come right on back and they meet each other as if, you know, like, hey, ain't no time left. You know, so soon right back your road. Don't even think about wherever you came from. I don't want to hear it. You back. They showed that on the video one time as the wife swan was injured, and they was like, we're going to take her. They talking to the husband swan. We're going to take her, go fix her little arm, and we're going to bring her right back. So it looked like he do extrasensory. When they came back, they was like 2 days or 3 days later or a week later or something, like they brought her back. And the husband was waiting there, and he was like, wife. And she was like, husband. You could tell through their little language. And they dropped the little swan, white swan down, and they was looking. They did that neck to neck, like, like they was kissing each other, like, oh my God, you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. How they did me fine. My arms working now, you know. Henry, we all right. Like, Henrietta, you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. My arms working, Henry. Look, I can flap it now. It's like, okay. And so they just did their little swan dance in the water, and then they sailed right on down the little pond together. So, you know, that's the same thing. It is like that. It's like, no matter how we were in separation, we come back together. But I know right now on my shield here, my job is to protect. Notice, he got one. My job is to protect you and our little, I don't know what you call them, little chickies or whatever, little swan, baby swans out. That's my job. It's the family, to protect and to serve my family. Protect, provide, and provide and profess for my family. That's it. That's all. Okay. So now he knows in his energy, again, to me, when I see this card, it's always, he's got to get super focused too. It's like, you know, it can't be always the divine feminine. Thank you. All right. Thank you. That's amen from the amen choir. So they said, no, that's the angel choir. So it cannot be all the time the divine feminine energies within that's doing all the driving work. That means all inside I'm doing, I'm thinking. Faith without works is dead. If we don't see no outward action going on as far as trying to make this happen with this coming together, this causes a problem here. So right now what it's saying is that the divine masculine energies, you know, although the divine feminine energies, I mean, inwardly you're willing. She looks like I'm willing. Like, okay, yeah, I'm willing. You know, where you gonna stick it in? You know, how we gonna do this? Like, he like, shh, be quiet, woman. Let me figure this out. So, you know, it's like, okay, like if you hold yourself this angle, this way, I think I'm gonna get the best penetration if I do it from this thing here. So again, doing that the way, again, this is where it is. That takes action. You thinking about it. You actually moving things. Not sitting back there and letting the divine feminine do all of the work. Okay, this is what they're saying. He's saying is this, in this understanding, he understands that's the action that he's got to be in. And understanding divine masculine, understand when it comes to this connection again, it's here This kind of action, this is what I'm saying about this cup, this 8 of cups, which to me is like, I got options, I got other places that I could be putting this love. This to me, I'm picking up through the spirit, and it's telling me this no longer, this kind of action or this kind of energy no longer can serve. It cannot survive. It cannot be the divine feminine. I'm sitting back and he's sitting back, and then we got our hands and we trying to put it in. She put it in, and you just sit back in the cut and just waiting for her to put the joystick into the playing slot. And that's just this no longer gonna serve here, because she looking at you and you look like, yeah, and that's not gonna work. This first thing they said that's not gonna work. So let's talk to the romance angels. So what is some things that's got to be clear? When I do it, I'll do it for that one. I'm not doing it for this one. Okay, so give me some, what's some advice for the romance angels for this divine masculine here? Okay, so you gotta call your soulmate in. Your call and say your prayers, affirmation, and visualization help bring you together. To me, again, you've got to really become very definite in what you're doing. You're saying you feel resentment. I feel some duality here for this divine masculine. Really not knowing that where he's at, he's not liking, but not making the choice to go ahead and move forward and do some actions. In the divine masculine energies means outward. The inward, he's all on board. The divine feminine energies within, I would say, will be all on board for it. The divine masculine energies is not pushing forth. That's whether you're male or female. You're still kind of in between on fence, and they're saying that. Extend your lighthearted energies to others. Again, that means going beyond just your heart and keeping it to yourself. You got to find ways in which you are able to actually propel that forward. It's got to be like a light to be able to show me, just like a lighthouse to show you which way that you're actually going. And that light is going to be able to be a lamp unto your path, which is going to help you to get understanding. If you're not doing that, it's like they're like, I can't really help you to know where you actually need to go. So Rise, it would explain to us about this calling your soulmate, because again, prayers affirmation is going to help you to clear. This is a stag. I don't know why every time I remember it and now I forget. The stag is a sign of power. You got to stand in your power. If this is what you want, you got to start calling it in. Like, this family dynamic I'm in, this is not it. Inwardly in my feminine energies, this is what I actually want. I need to have my inside, what's so within, so without. Both of these things have got to line up. So it's got to clean up some things in the ethers, in the air. Let's clean up our thinking, how the things are conflicting, how we need to bring those two things together. Again, I said thinking, I wasn't even looking at the card. Because again, in your thinking, it's going to help to reveal you to have levels, to level up. Right now, you just thinking, you looking down the ground. I mean, it's no other way. You could be thinking about some stuff, thinking of a master plan, something inside my hand, think about the money inside my hand, whatever it's called. You could be thinking all day. If you're thinking and you're not doing it, things around you can build. I told you about the things, about something that you wanted to do. And some things and dreams I had, like a school that was going to be a performing arts in the elementary school here on the south side. I said I was going to do it, I never did. Then somebody else picked up the thing. You don't want anybody to kind of, you have this idea of what this family is, and then if you don't get to moving, then before you know it, Spirit's like, okie dokie. So you're not moving, right? Nah, I'm kind of comfortable where I wear. Okay, so they're going to be like, okay, so I'm just kind of telling you, the divine feminine kind of waited a long time for you, and it might be at this time that we're going to kind of start finding something else for her. Okay, so since you seems like you standing, no, I'm thinking, but no, sir, we can't. That's not fair. That's not fair, divine master, to keep on that now. So something's got to kind of give on this. So again, so you gonna start getting on this, or do we need to kind of start, thinking about some other things? So That's where we kind of thinking about that. When we talk about flirt, extend your lightheartedness. Let's not keep all the love inside. You can't be upset and being envious. This is what I figured when you said about this. You so envious by how the divine feminine is finding love with what she has and doing the 8 of cups. She 8 of cups and then using that against you. She finding love in other people. And you're like, well, dang, I thought she'd just be sitting there pining over me. Divine masculine. She's saying, she's like, no, I'm kind of going on and getting life. You need to be able to do that, because to me, when they're saying about extend lighter heart energy, it's like, let's try something different for once. Let's go ahead and let's try extending our lightheartedness, and then seeing about how do people react to that, because you want this new beginning, and what you're doing is not working. You in that 1950s dad mode where it's no, and you're not trying anything, and you're not really hearing any other kind of things. That's another thing that works against that type of fathering too, is because you don't get to hear other opinions. It works well for some things, and some things it does not. It doesn't help you to see other sides of it. And so again, you want to be able to have that heaven and earth meet together. You want to get out of that illusionary state of mind that you're in. You need to be able to do this so you can be able to trust your intuition and awareness, which is going to help you bring your hopes and wishes fulfilled to you. Okay, so now what is some relationship advice that the source has for you that they want you to kind of demonstrate, look at? What they want you to look at? I want this to be doing this right now. Okay, I will look at this. This don't go on this one. This goes on the other channel. Sorry, hold on one second. Okay. Okay. Oh, sorry. See? That build that. Yeah, that's sneaky peeky. Okay, now, yeah, I want that to be loading up while because I'm knocking them out. Okay, so now, so you want to know where that song come from? Go over there to the other side and go over there to Divine Matters of the Heart, and it continues over there. Okay, clear. All right, here we go. This came right on off here. It said, I'll not ask others to become different for me. Ooh, I like that. Okay, let's look at this. And it's got a mask. Right, because I feel in some ways, and I think that's right on the money, source, because I think a lot of times it seems like they're looking for the family, the distorted partner to be different. They're looking for the dynamic of the family to be different. They're looking for the divine feminine to act different energies. And they look for themselves, for it to fit in. And that's what they're getting, this resentment. This is coming right off the back for me here. So again, let your vibrational relationship escrow percolate and give it your undivided attention so that you become a vibrational match to it. And then when the law of attraction brings all of it together, there are not any bugs to work out. Do not ask the person who helped you to define what you want to become what you want, so that you can have that you want. Let me read that again. Do not ask the person who helped you to define what you want to become what you want, so that you can have what you want. Instead, use your willpower to focus upon what you want, and then the universe will bring you what you want. And that's what I told you. They say it's us being highly super empathic. We got to watch what we are concentrating on, because, again, with us being able to do that, we have to make sure that we are focusing in on the things that we do want and not the things that we do not want. And that's where we are at this point of doing that. All right, then. So this is our message for divine masculine to divine feminine, with a trigger warning in there as well, to help you to kind of understand when we talk about these distorted partners and what they coming forward and helping us as well. So, all right then, as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascending. Namaste, Namago. Love you.